Capricorn. Vanessa Williams saved the best for last. I don't even know what her sign is, but that'd be interesting to find out. Of course, I'm gonna Google it when I get off of here. Let's see what's coming in for you guys. Good things. Good things. Ooh, patience. Sacral chakra. So something been percolating for a minute, and you just have had to have patience about it, even when you didn't know that that's what was being required of you. And effort with the 13, I don't think there was anything you could have done. You could have efforted all you fucking wanted to, but you wouldn't have been able to make this process happen faster. It's like the opposite of what you know to do. And that's funny as fuck because it's still like I'm getting two images. One is trying to run underwater, and another one is Velma from that Scooby Doo, a pup named Scooby Doo, where her feet are just, they're moving so fast, but she's not going anywhere. Like she's walking at a normal pace, even though her feet are moving twice as fast. So this is the kind of energy I'm getting with this patience. It's like, and it makes no difference how much work you put into something. It's like it was gonna come to you anyway. You're gonna get it anyway. So it's like you really understand what happens when you spin your wheels. You know, when you change the settings on the bike, from old school bikes where you actually had the gears and you could pedal really fast, but the resistance wasn't there. It was just spin, like, I don't know. It would, you would go from having to really put in the pressure and put in the work to get it to go. And then when you change gears, your feet would start to move quickly and it would still, the bike would go at a particular pace. It would get easier, but it's this resistance that you've been going through that's kind of been polishing you up. I'm seeing like polishing like silver, like cutlery, where they have on the white gloves and they're using the cloth, and it's really just, it's that type of friction, and not the friction where it's like grinding gears, but it's like it's smooth. It's a smooth pressure. It's a smooth polish that you're really getting. Your smooth ass. Financial discipline. Ooh, how appropriate. But whenever I see the financial discipline card, I don't only equate it to monetary things. I also see it as energy, action, the things that your spiritual career and music. You're being aligned with things that are kindred to you. The only chakra color that I don't see represented here would be maybe the third eye and the throat. And I feel that it had to do a lot with just the perception of what you were going through. I'm kind of getting hangman vibes because it seemed like, well, damn, what's up with my effort? Why do I feel like I'm paddling and not getting anywhere sooner or quicker? Like, but it was like, chill, it's all unfolding. Hold on a minute. Like, it's like proto slow. Proto slow is a liquid you can drop on a slide. If there's certain things we used to look at under the microscope, and they used to move so fast that if you didn't put the drop of proto slow, it wouldn't slow them down enough for you to really see what they are and how translucent and the different parts of them. Like, and it was like a wave of energy just over Capricorn for a minute. Like, you were doing so much efforting, but if we allow you to advance with this effort, you will miss something. You will miss the sweet spots. You will miss the, it is something here, like taking it all in. You have to have the patience in order to take the moment in. It's like you don't want to rush this itinerary. You don't want to plan for every single thing. Sometimes you're playing it by ear. And that's not something that I tend to see Capricorns do, but it's something that is being given to you, whether you like it or not. You're having the patience, and they're giving you this music that it's like, we know your formalities, we know the way that you train, we know the way that you work, we know the way you handle shit, but we're going to show you a different way, and we're going to wing it. And this is what is the makings of integrating this spiritual nature to the discipline, to the career, to the effort. It has to have that type of balance, that type of purpose. So the patience is like, hard stop and go slow, homie. Ride slow, homie. Pump your brakes. It's like you really have to just enjoy it. It's like driving home from work. You're driving home. The point is to get home. You want to get there as efficiently as possible. Don't want to hit no traffic. You trying to get home. Or you can see this as a night ride. Let them windows down. Take your hair bow out. Whatever it is, like loosen up your collar a little bit. Feel the wind in your fingers. Like, you're missing a moment here. Okay. So I'm going to pull 2 rough stones, and I'm going to put it on, because I feel like the music influence and the patience is, because that's where you get your peace. That's where you get your moments. That's where you align with this energy that's being put on you. It's giving you a break that you haven't planned for or scheduled in. Okay, we have the lapis on patience, and music we have. I'm really doing all this jiggling like there ain't only 7 crystals in here. Oh, we have the root chakra here. Hey. Financial discipline. Ooh. More lapis. Spiritual career. This is more so of an alignment where you're just gonna start to see the influence of your spirituality, the lessons, the teachings. It's all gonna come to the forefront because of this patience that you've been given. When the green when they put the green light back on and you get to move back into effort, you're gonna see it in a different resonance. You're gonna see where it's bringing up some lessons that you've been learning on your own away from this place. You're not just spiritual when you're at home by yourself. You always have this spiritual being. It's always accounted for. So even as you're learning, the joy of it, it's like you'll finally be able to tickle my neck. You'll finally be able to get to like enjoy it, not just in the comfort of your own home, or once you feel like you can get home and let your hair down. Like, it's always a moment to just revel and be in it. this energy is really, it really is piggybacking on that love reading that I did. I'm gonna post it after Capricorn gets posted because I don't want to. It's long. It's long. Patience. And you get the Four of Cups. You don't like being patient, having to be made patient. And that's okay. But if you knew why you were being prompted to, like, I feel that I just don't think you'll, it's like old habits die hard. And so with the way you're equipped to effort and put in work and stuff like that, I really feel like you would have missed the ease of this. This blue chakra, this lapis that is sitting here on two different parts of these cards, it's energy management. It's effort, work, of course. It's energy management. There's a way that this effort takes you far, but it will far exceed your work. This will resound for decades. Like, just the amount of momentum and the depth of the type of work that you do, it really does take you far. It takes you really far. And that's the influence of Capricorn itself. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to hold them all. It's the truth. It really is. It takes you long and far. It is something that is respected. It is something that people don't understand how, like, passionate you are about your shit and how deep it really goes. I want to lay these out on the side so I can have reference. I see. It's like, it's not for no reason. It's like the ants that store shit for the winter, because you know that things can get very barren. And so you do have this nest egg. You do have this plan. You do have this way of efforting while the sun is high and while the climate is ripe for it. And it's the lulls that you're able to find comfort in, because you know you've done all this efforting. You still have something to land on. You still have something to depend on, which has always been your own effort. But when it comes to the patience, it's like, no, like, that's not really what I want. Emotionally, it's been giving this type of vibe when it's like, despite the fact that I don't want to wait, and it's not that you don't have patience, it's that you want the effort to speak for itself. You want it to have that volume, and it always has and it always will. It's just you. This is what you influence anyway, but you're being prompted to use it in a different way, in a way that is lighter and more carefree. Effort doesn't have to be hard work. It doesn't have to be manual either. You see what I'm saying? This water energy is taking care of this. This is why you had to be patient and why you had to retract. And this air energy is taking care of this. So they're really just talking to one another. We can do it in a different way and get better results. So it comes where a way of doing things does have to come to an end. Mentally, the way that you process. Processing addictions, when it comes to the way of doing things, how we articulate and formulate solutions versus problems, the way we calculate certain things. There's a lot of quantitative work that's happening in the mental sphere, and it takes away from the enjoyment looking at these two energies in comparison to one another. Glass half empty or half full, or a motherfucker just saying, damn, I have a glass. So much more than what's in it, how much is in it, it's that there's even a cup to put something in. Two different perspectives, but both afforded and awarded to the same person. So it's just like we're going to chop and screw, and slow down a little bit, chop and screw what we thought we had as far as the way this shit is working. Because this is why the world always feels so hard and things feel so tough, and we're affected so deeply because of how hard and hardened we have become in our efforts. So we have this Page of Pentacles here. And not always, I sometimes see this as like a token. But in this sense, it's like you're being put back to a time when things were not as hard. But not digressing. You understand? Your prestige is not digressing. Your progress is not digressing. It's just the amount of efforting. And it's almost like, by myself, I can always handle 8 Pentacles. I effort this effortlessly. But it's like, nah, we only need 3 Pentacles to be built. And we're going to do it together. Patience, my friend, patience. Allow this to be done. If you have these 3 energies that are powerhouses, you have a Hierophant, you have a Devil, and you have a Chariot. This is power. Consider what can happen when they only put just in their portion and come up with this grand thing. You know? If this shit was redistributed, and this could be 3 aspects of yourself: the mentor in you, the go-getter in you, and the easy, free, breezy, beautiful you, cover girl, playboy, whomever. Not everything has to be hard, but it's all noble. It's all like the truth is done in a way where it can't be twisted. It can't be contrived. It can't be mistaken for anything other than what it is. This three here, you could very well be collaborating with another person or a group. It could be a team effort. This could be 3 of Cups as well. You could definitely be entrenched in the financial discipline card. Is a 12 and its reduction. I mean, when it is a 3. I was getting a hangman vibe too when I saw patience though. And so it's giving that, but you've been cut free. You have the Ace of Swords here, you have the Ten of Swords here. The Fool is the hangman after he gets the fuck down. But what puts the hangman in that position is himself. Because he's hung up on a notion that he can't quite wrap his mind around. And it takes for all the blood to rush to his fucking head when his feet are above ground, above his heart, and things start to flow in another direction, that a person can really see now the optical illusion, how things are really orchestrated and how they really go. That gives you a second perspective. That gives you a chance to really look at this from another angle. And where you saw detriment, or where you saw it beating up on you mentally because of how entrenched you were in process and effort, it's like, well, if I just melt all these fucking swords together, I get a fucking sword. One big ass fucking sword. So instead of a bunch of little things, now you have something more structured that didn't just rely on the backs, on your back and on your effort alone. That you'll find much more comfort in this way of doing things. You're starting to acknowledge that other people do have things to offer, and it hasn't had to be equal to exactly what you're doing. It's in other ways they have added some kind of valuable thing or valuable caveat. And it really has helped though, because now you're looking at it where you couldn't see it before, what it really was. And this is where your perspective starts to speed up. And you're like, oh, it's recognizing. We got triple eights here. Triple eights, triple threes. Yeah. One, two, three, four, five major arcana. Two court cards. So what I'm getting, I started to hear the theme from the Boondocks. I am the stone that the builder refused. And I'm looking at the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. And I'm like, who is this? And this seems like sisters, siblings, close friends. Um, okay, like Queen of Swords, what they consider socializing, right? Or just being, friendly. Another person considers familial. And so these two different perspectives, I think, is where the patience has been given. This is another line I'm getting. This is not to do with the first part where it had more to do with work and stuff like that. I feel that there has been some displeasure with the Queen of Wands. I'm sorry, Queen of Swords. Where's the Queen of Wands? Why did the Queen of Wands come up in my mind? What's she got to do with this? We're going to find out. But the Queen of Swords has had some displeasure, but it's been kept to herself. Whether you relate to the Queen of Swords or, and this is not necessarily a sibling or a friend, this could be just another woman that you're in close proximity to or connect with. And it could be two Capricorns, fuck. But anyway, one is more air and one is more water. But this could also just be two aspects of you. In the event, it's two women. Okay. One has a carefreeness about herself, and it's almost as if she's always on a whim. Like they've had these differing opinions when it comes to each other. Like a person doesn't take things, or a person likes smaller engagements. Another person likes a lot of people around, or where one person is just cordial and kind and hey, how you doing? Another person's like, girl, did you, and they just have different ways of doing things. They do, but I think the fool sitting here is like it's bridging a gap, and it's bringing harmony, the effort, the 13 energy here. There's more action when it comes to a foundational relationship here. And I say foundational because this energy of 10 is a stamp. It's like we finished this part, we finished this portion. Now let's begin again. As a matter of fact, we have 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, and then the Judgment is the combination of the two of them. Certain things about your relationship had to end, and I really do feel like it's two women here or two men here. But this is how their feminine energy speaks to one another. One can seem as if they just go with their emotional self wherever it takes them with the Fool, and the Queen of Swords is almost seen like She's just too. Mm, mm, mm. And there's that differing of opinions there, but the bond is music. The bond is music, or there's a harmony between them that just, it is. They have their own rhythm of relating to one another, and it's pretty cool. So I feel that either energetically or conversationally, some things were confronted, and it seems as if the more effort that was put in the past, that's what made it feel so hard, or that's what made it feel so like I have to try, I have to do, I have to prove, I have to show. And it's like, nah, not really. Like, this is where the differing opinions really um, come into play, where one person may not have given enough effort, another person gave too much effort, and there was this sense of confusion. Like, if mentally we could look at this Queen of Cups, it's like there's something going on here. And then with this Queen of Swords, it's like, the fuck. So they're really, the Fool is between them. And this is where I feel the effort card comes in. You don't need to do an effort. You naturally both have an affinity towards communion or community or happiness or sharing, um, gathering in a setting where, not in a setting, but in a way where there's comfort, there's inclusion, there's warmth, there's a whole lot of these just fun loving emotions. And I really feel like that's a foundational trait, that's a base. You can do all this effort on your own and you can be putting in all this work, but it's away from everything and everyone that you really want to be in close proximity with, when you can do certain things together and make it your own. So no one's just left waiting and expecting something to come in to, like, just expecting something to be volleyed, I think. So these eights that I see here, are these the only two I saw? No, there's three. There was nothing done in vain. I want you to know that everything that you have done has never been forgotten, because this person is sitting here with this eight energy. They've been prompted to hold back. Why? Because you had to understand that it did not matter how much fucking effort you put forth. Your intention to Three of Cups with this person, to be in good company with this person, was what mattered most. And it didn't matter how often or how much or how grand or how planned. Just understand, bars, that they were being held back in a way. They really are, now being able to share and give and discuss and act. So when you have presence like this, you're going to come up on a process. Is this worth it? All this effort, all this work, all this doing, all this trying, is it worth it? What does this mean? You're going to come up on all that stuff, but the judgment card is going to bring all this stuff to your attention. And then you're going to see the negative aspects of it. You're going to see things that feel very difficult and very hard and very separating between you and this person. But also you're going to see this sense of, okay, what did I gain from it? What did it teach me? What kind of counsel? When did it, it's almost like, each each of you took this role at one point. There were certain times they were hierophant to you, and there's certain times you were hierophant to them. But I think more than anything, you were able to see how, when you were facing difficulty, they came in with like 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 another limb. and gave you something that kept your momentum going, where you could have, you know what I'm saying, like it's almost giving me like passing the baton, or a three-legged race, where you three-legged race, you actually need another person to help you get to the finish line, and kind of giving it, but it wasn't in a way that you could actually quantify it. It wasn't something that you could actually put a price tag on. It wasn't something that you could write down as a trait or an ability or a gift, or it's just, it's weird. It's not weird. But there have been times when they were going through things and you came in a clutch, and it just, they couldn't have grasped it on their own, this thing, or this moment of things clicking together. This is where the Ace of Swords comes in. You each have one. The Two of Swords is the both of you not having to put in too much effort. It just, I feel for a while there were just two different, again, the Hanged Man. The Queen of Swords is sitting here with the Four of Cups. And this could be why the Queen of Cups is sitting here with the Ten of Swords. The way that they're perceiving the very same situation is the glass, and if it's half full or half empty, when this is just having the fucking cup. And so it's like the difference between prosperity and lack, and you have the gratitude in the middle. And it's like, no matter where you are on the spectrum, you have something worth having. You have something worth giving. Anything else? Okay. That's it. Tower Magician. That's orchestration if I've never seen it. I see it sometimes in different combinations. But I feel like it's like a ta-da. It's almost like an unveiling. So this is what I see. I see the Moon and Eight of Swords. Again, it's giving me the Hangman type of vibe, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. In both of these images, the eyes are closed. In both of these images, the eyes are open. The Sun and the Four of Pentacles. There's been a reason why this has still been very much alive and very much active and very much important. No matter if the Four of Cups has been here, the Ten of Swords has been here, it has not been to the detriment. It's been for the betterment. You have to see what you feel, what has occurred, what you determine to be of an unhealthy nature. And it's also having switched roles with this person to understand what may have prompted their participation or lack thereof. What you're sensing off of each other is like in opposition. Judgment is like, both of you get an X. You get a fucking timeout. Timeout card's not here, but this effort is the death energy. And we have the Ten of Swords here. It's really like, hold up. You both have to stop for a minute. Pluto, death energy. You both got to stop and chill. Because you are looking at this as bondage and restriction. And you are looking at this as no control, no reins. What are you doing? And it's like, damn. But really, there has been a moment where you've both been in opposite roles, and a person is like, well, damn, this person is too rigid. This person is too dead set, focused on moving this chariot. It seems restrictive. It seems like what they're doing and how they're doing it has a lot of, I don't know, it's like there's so many rules to it. Like, you can't move too fast, you can't move too slow, you got to do it like this, can't do it like that. And now this person's getting a different perspective on how they've been doing things. And this person's like, well, man, you have some type of structure, you have some type of boundary, you have borders, you have something that encloses you, some type of foundation. And this is where they both see eye to eye and are both learning in this capacity. What this Hierophant is just representing is both being taught the same lesson. They're both being taught the same lesson, and they're looking at each other in a different way now. So this Fool is kind of bringing them together in a crashing type of way, where they both get knocked the hell upside the head. You ever done that? You ever headbutted somebody on accident? Or had your head, bump into somebody else's? Or had somebody actually physically knock your heads together? It's like, I don't know. For me, I've clashed with people's heads before, and it's been like, damn, that hurt, but did I hurt you? I remember playing soccer or kickball or whatever in my junior high school, and a girl went up and I went up, and we hit each other's heads, and I had this big ass lump on my head. But I was more apologetic than anything. Even though I was wearing a battle wound, I don't think she had one. So I had the evidence of the hurt, I had the evidence of the pain, but I was more concerned about the other person. Queen of Cups looking at the Queen of Swords type vibe. And it's like it hurts me to hurt you. That's what I'm getting from each of these people. And it's like, now is the perfect time, because the effort has been the thing that has gotten in the way. It has been what has held up the actual progress. What moves the chariot is not effort. It's a willful rhythm of being on the right track and being on the right page. And what frees you from the restriction of the devil is to release. It feels binding and constricting, but the moment you loosen your grip, it becomes ease. And that's pretty much what is happening here. So both of these energies are damn near bound. This one is held up with what they're doing, what they own, what they have, what they earn, their foundation. This one is bound up with their thoughts in their head, what surrounds them, what people think, what they think about what people think. And they're not different though. They have their own subtle influence, and they both shine and they both influence. But to expect each of them to expect for the moon to expect the sun to be the moon would be weird. I can only respect that you are the sun. And every once in a while we meet up and we do our fucking thing, and everybody's like, it's a show, it's a sight to see. And so having that respect of space, having that patience, having that distance, having that discipline with your energy, and having that rhythm. The sun goes in cycles, the moon goes in cycles. They both have a rhythm, and every once in a while they meet up and they do their thing. And it really is a sight to see. This is, wow. Damn, Capricorn, that's cool. That's cool. I hope you understood. Like, yeah. I just read what I feel, what I hear, what I see. It's not just reading, but it's like that was like two readings in one. I like that. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all later.